Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Javon Keys. There were jitters today amongst some investors in NCB Financial Group as the stock dipped below $100 for the first time since about 2018 before closing at $108.63. Now, Senior Vice President of Investment Banking at Mayberry Investments, Dan Theok, says the market movements were likely not largely influenced by the announcement of branch closures by the banking division of the group yesterday. Mr. Theok says
the earnings have fallen off over the last 3 years. We saw this stock at one point in time tipping $200, but that was when they were earning approximately $30 billion. 2020, we saw earnings fall to $19 billion, then 2021 falling to $14 billion for the year end, and now the last quarter results that have come out has the trailing earnings now falling to $12.9 billion. So stock, as a result, was trading very richly in terms of price earnings, maybe trading at 20 times in a market where we think 14 to 15 times is about par.
Now, Mr. Theok says with earnings expected to pick up in the next few quarters and the Prime Minister announcing the removal of COVID-19 containment measures, the stock could see some improvement. Still with some company news, LPG and oxygen producers IGL spent nearly $100 million to expand its oxygen production capacity. With a new plant, and that's an oxygen pressure swing absorption facility commissioned at Ferry on Wednesday, the company will boost oxygen output by about 40%. The COVID-19 pandemic spurred increased demand for medical oxygen, and at one point the country was forced to import the commodity as local supply was inadequate. IGL says this plant will boost production of oxygen locally by about 40%. Now, IGL has spent about 100 million Jamaican dollars to build this facility at Ferry. The new capacity should exceed the local oxygen needs in tons of output per day.
We are at now 13, so 40% of 30 another 5.5, so that's where we'll be per day.
IGL is looking to commence oxygen exports by the third quarter of 2022. The new oxygen pressure swing absorption plant will also produce other byproducts, which the company plans on selling.
It produces nitrogen. Nitrogen is an inert gas, and it is primarily used when industries like our refineries or alumina industry goes into what they call upset mode. And you need nitrogen on demand immediately. How can a plant go in an upset mode, needing nitrogen immediately, and we have to be imported? Just think about that. And this plant would have satisfied that need.
Meanwhile, IGL has spent $6 million to build a carbon dioxide production plant. The company says it's seeking certification to sell food-grade carbon dioxide.
All the carbon dioxide used in Jamaica, we currently import. So in this plant, we'll take the exhaust gas from our engines, the engine that we use to produce power from LNG, which would normally go to the atmosphere. We're going to take that exhaust and through a series of processes convert it to food-grade carbon dioxide that we'll be able to sell to our bottlers. And again, we expect to have full production in the late first half of this year, early second half.
Let's head to the currency market. It's costing an average $153.47 for the U.S. currency. $121.63 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar, $201.71 for the pound, while the euro is trading at an average $171.25. The JSE index declined by 2,641 points today, while the junior market index declined by 28 points. Among today's winners were Edufocal, Cargo Handlers, MPC Caribbean Clean Energy, Key Insurance Company, and Kingston Properties. While on the losing side were First Rock Capital Holdings US dollar shares, 1834 Investments, Mayberry Investments, JMB Group 6% US dollar shares, and Lasco Distributors. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Javon Key. Stay with us. Regional and international news are after the break.